On our website, you can get PDF learning materials for free. Please visit englist.me.
Forge.
To fashion or shape metal by heating it and hammering it into shape, to create or develop something new or original, to form strong bonds or relationships with others.
Examples:
Forge an alliance. Forge iron. She had to forge her father's signature on the permission slip because he was out of town.
Mercenary.
A professional soldier who will fight for any country or organization that offers payment.
Examples:
Mercenary killers. A mercenary enterprise. It would be best if you did your work without any mercenary spirit.
Currency.
A system of money in general use in a particular country.
Examples:
Currency exchange. Digital currency. The currency used in this country is the euro.
Persecute.
To subject someone to hostility, ill treatment, or harassment, especially because of their race, religion, or political beliefs, to oppress or mistreat someone because of their identity.
Examples:
Persecute minorities. Persecute for small debts. The government's crackdown on free speech was seen as an attempt to persecute journalists and media outlets.
Oppress.
To treat people in a cruel and authoritarian way, especially by denying them the same freedoms, rights, etc. as other people.
Examples:
Oppress the minority. Oppress the people with force. Historically, many countries have often oppressed certain religions to gain the support of the majority of the population.
Introduction.
A preliminary explanation or remarks given before the start of a text, performance, or event. The act of bringing something new into existence or introducing something to a wider audience or new market.
Examples:
Introduction education. Self-introduction. The introduction to the new class was informative and engaging.
Thrust.
To push or drive forcibly, to impose or insert. Noun, the force used in pushing.
Examples:
Thrust a dagger home. Thrust a plate away. The engine thrust the rocket into space.
Workshop.
A place where people work, especially one where they do manual or practical work. A brief intensive course for a small group.
Examples:
Workshop attendee. Carpentry workshop. The artist held a workshop to teach students how to paint with watercolors.
Resistance.
The act of defending oneself from an aggressor or refusing to accept something.
Examples:
Resistance movement. Resistance to insulin. The bill to increase the consumption tax had passed despite much resistance from the public.
Liberate.
To set free, to release or rescue from captivity or oppression.
Examples:
Liberate people from oppression. Liberate potential. The prisoners were liberated after the war ended.
Suburb.
An outlying district or residential area of a city or town, typically comprising middle-class and affluent neighborhoods.
Examples:
Suburb development. Suburb life. He grew up in the suburbs, but always dreamed of living in the city.
Norm.
Something that is regarded as usual, typical, or standard.
Examples:
Norm of action. Cultural norm. The systems we have developed has accepted as industry norms.
Photograph.
A picture or image that is produced by a camera, a visual representation or record of a person, object, or scene that has been captured electronically or on film.
Examples:
Photograph album. Photograph memories. I found an old photograph of my grandparents from their wedding day.
Educator.
A person who teaches or educates people.
Examples:
Business educator. Duty as an educator. She is an educator with progressive ideas.
Strict.
Strongly limiting someone's freedom, allowing no deviation from a standard, rule, belief, etc.
Examples:
Strict compliance regime. In strict secrecy. Too strict a regulation for the private sector will stifle innovation.
Episode.
A happening or story that is distinctive in a series of related events, an abrupt short period during which someone suffers from the effects of a physical or mental illness.
Examples:
End of the first episode. Episode of vertigo. I want to put that episode of my life behind me.
Tip.
The top or extreme point of something slender or tapering, usually a mountain or hill. A piece of advice about something practical, a small amount of money given for services.
Examples:
The tip of a paintbrush. Give the waiter a tip. I will introduce some tips on learning English in this class.
Grade.
A particular level of quality, size, importance, etc.
Examples:
Boys in the 12th grade. Students at all grade levels. Departments may set requirements for a higher grade point average.
Decide.
To make up someone's mind about something, to come to a conclusion or judgment after considering options.
Examples:
Decide a question. Decide on a course of action. She couldn't decide whether to order the pizza or the pasta for dinner.
Absolutely.
Without restriction or limitation, completely or utterly.
Examples:
Absolutely against. Absolutely obsessed with the girl. I am absolutely opposed to his idea because of morality.
Steady.
Firmly fixed, supported, or balanced, not shaking or moving.
Examples:
Steady increase. Take a steady job. The patient's vital signs are steady, indicating a stable condition.
Assignment.
A duty or task given to someone, usually as part of their job or studies.
Examples:
Finish the assignment. Assignment of interest. My assignment was overwhelming and complicated, but it was also exciting.
Yell.
To shout in a sudden and loud way.
Examples:
Yell for help. Yell as loud as we can. When I asked my father for more money, he became furious and yelled at me.
Blanket.
A large piece of soft material used to cover or wrap a person or thing to keep them warm. Adjective, broad in scope or content.
Examples:
Blanket authority. Blanket scarf. The electric blanket keeps me warm on cold nights.
Apprehension.
The act of apprehending or arresting someone, a feeling of anxiety, worry, or uncertainty about something that may happen in the future, understanding or comprehension of something, particularly a complex or abstract concept or idea.
Examples:
Criminal apprehension. Apprehension of danger. The company's CEO felt a sense of apprehension before making the major decision.
Silent.
Without any or little sound.
Examples:
Silent reading. Give silent consent. The politician remained silent despite intense media scrutiny.
Eavesdrop.
To listen to someone else's conversation without their knowledge or permission.
Examples:
Eavesdrop conversation. Eavesdrop on a secret plot. I accidentally eavesdropped on a confidential meeting last week.
Conversation.
An informal talk between two or more people to exchange their views, ideas, information, etc.
Examples:
Conversation in English. A friendly conversation. Your conversation reflects your thoughts.
Violent.
Involving or caused by physical force or aggression against someone or something.
Examples:
Victim of a violent crime. Violent incident. The protesters became violent when the police tried to disperse them.
Keen.
Having or showing quick and eager intelligence or interest.
Examples:
Keen interest. Keen observation. He was keen to learn more about the subject and attended every lecture.
Pacifist.
A person who believes in pacifism, which is the opposition to war and violence as a means of resolving conflicts.
Examples:
Pacifist party. Uphold pacifist principles. The pacifist group organized a peaceful demonstration to protest the war.
Helmet.
A protective covering for the head, worn for safety or as part of a uniform or ceremonial dress.
Examples:
Helmet size. Safety helmet. The worker survived the impact because they were wearing sturdy helmets.
Obtain.
To get something, especially by making a great effort.
Examples:
Obtain a license. Obtain a bid. Where can I obtain the application form?
Nationality.
The legal status or right of belonging to a particular country.
Examples:
Acquisition of nationality. Nationality certificate. Dual nationality is prohibited in specific nations, but not in others.
Behalf.
Represent, advantage, benefit, the interest of someone.
Examples:
On behalf of our management. On his own behalf. I gave witness on her behalf.
Suddenly.
Quickly and unexpectedly.
Examples:
Suddenly attacked by an enemy. Die suddenly. Who answers suddenly knows little.
Bond.
A close emotional connection between two or more people, a certificate of debt that a government or corporation issues to raise money.
Examples:
Bond as a family. Global bond market. They had formed a friendship bond.
Celebrate.
To acknowledge a memorable or good day or event with a social gathering or enjoyable activity.
Examples:
Celebrate his election. Celebrate Christmas. He celebrated the 10th anniversary of his tenure.
Convince.
To persuade someone or make someone believe that something is true.
Examples:
Convince her to go with us. Convince an opponent. I am considering what I should do to convince him.
Excerpt.
To take a short piece of speech, book, film, etc. from a longer whole. Noun, a short extract from a speech, book, film, etc.
Examples:
Excerpt a passage from a book. Excerpt comments from the news release. Here are excerpts from several recent books on quantum computing.
Descent.
The act or process of moving downward, a person's family origins.
Examples:
Descent from nobility. Descent of family. The descent from the mountain was steep and rocky.
Settle.
To reach an agreement of disagreement.
Examples:
Settle a dispute. Settle down in the town. I don't want to settle for second best.
Jewish.
Of or related to people whose traditional religion is Judaism.
Examples:
Jewish history. Jewish culture. My friend is a Jewish woman who celebrates Hanukkah every year.
Diploma.
A document showing the completion of a course of study or a portion of the education program, a course of study at a college or university.
Examples:
University diploma. Diploma thesis. He completed his high school diploma via correspondence courses.
Primary.
First or highest in rank, order, or importance, most fundamental or essential, pertaining to the initial or introductory stage of something, such as a school year or election cycle.
Examples:
Primary school. Primary education. The primary cause of the accident was due to the icy road conditions.
Certificate.
An official document stating that the information contained within is true.
Examples:
Official score certificate. A birth certificate. He received a certificate in computer programming from the local college.
Discovery.
The act or process of finding information, a place, or an object, or learning about something that was previously not known.
Examples:
A scientific discovery. The great discovery of the century. Her research team made an important discovery.
Magical.
Produced by or containing supernatural powers.
Examples:
Magical place. Magical powers. When I was a child, my mother often cast magical spells to ease my pain whenever I was injured.
Fascinating.
Extremely interesting.
Examples:
Fascinating story. Completely fascinating to me. The museum houses a fascinating collection of Celtic artifacts.
Magic.
Beliefs and actions employed to influence supernatural beings and forces, any art or performance that invokes supernatural powers.
Examples:
A magic spell. She is magic. He performed magic tricks with sophisticated moves.
Dye.
To color a textile or hair by immersing it in a colored liquid or substance.
Examples:
Dye a t-shirt red. Dye patterns. She dyed her hair purple for a change.
Chemistry.
The branch of the natural sciences dealing with the composition of substances and their properties and reactions.
Examples:
Professor of chemistry. The chemistry of soil. He is familiar with chemistry and biology.
Coincide.
To take place at or near the same time.
Examples:
Partly coincide. Coincide with reality. These results coincide with our hypothesis.
Consolation.
The comfort received by a person after misfortune or disappointment.
Examples:
A letter of consolation. Ask for consolation money. Your company has been a great consolation to me.
Bleach.
To remove color or stains, whiten, or sterilize using a solution of chemicals or other substances, such as bleach.
Examples:
Bleach stains. Bleach hair. I need to bleach this shirt to remove the stains.
Accident.
An unfortunate event, especially one causing damage or injury.
Examples:
Cause an accident. Injury in a car accident. The accident partially destroyed my vehicle.
Hunt.
To go after and try to catch wild animals to kill them for food, sport, or profit.
Examples:
Hunt a job. Hunt after knowledge. Hounds hunt their prey by using their keen scent.
Arrest.
To take into custody.
Examples:
Arrest the thief. Arrest the progress. A police officer has the authority to arrest a criminal.
Eventually.
Finally, particularly after a long time or a lot of struggle, complications, and so on.
Examples:
Eventually become obsolete. Eventually succeed. The corporation eventually dominated the entire tobacco business.
Instill.
To impart, introduce, or cause to be absorbed gradually.
Examples:
Instill confidence. Instill medication into my eye. The teacher attempted to instill the importance of hard work in her students.
Survive.
To live or exist despite a dangerous event or period.
Examples:
Survive a blizzard. Survive a plane crash. These birds can only survive in temperate climates.
Indelible.
Cannot be removed, erased, or forgot.
Examples:
An indelible ink. An indelible disgrace. She left an indelible mark on our country's literature.
Immediately.
Now or without delay.
Examples:
Immediately recall a product. Write him an answer immediately. A suspension order from the court is effective immediately.
Impressive.
Arousing admiration due to size, quality, or skill.
Examples:
Impressive performances. An impressive array of facts. The budget reduction was an impressive feat for our nation.
Formula.
A group of symbols, letters, or numbers that represent a rule, law, or mathematical statement.
Examples:
Structural formula. A binomial formula. The teacher told the students to memorize the math formula.
Recruit.
To persuade someone to work for a company, to find new members for an organization, the armed forces, etc.
Examples:
Recruit a good worker. Recruit a new hire. The colonial government recruited militia support when civil war broke out.
Unknowingly.
Without intention or being aware of what is happening.
Examples:
Unknowingly commit a crime. Unknowingly avoid him. She became ill after unknowingly taking rotten food.
Invention.
The creation of a new device or process resulting from study and experimentation, the act of inventing.
Examples:
The invention of new techniques. Common invention. Necessity is the mother of invention.
Lab.
A workplace for the conduct of scientific research, a laboratory.
Examples:
Lab instrument. Medical lab. The Prime Minister will pay a courtesy visit to the Nobel laureate's lab.
Falsify.
To alter or manipulate information, data, or evidence to deceive or mislead, to prove to be false or incorrect.
Examples:
Falsify data. Falsify documents. The scientist was caught attempting to falsify the results of the study.
Tamper.
To interfere with something in a way that causes damage or unauthorized alteration, to meddle with or manipulate something without permission or authority. Noun, a tool or device used for interfering with or altering something in a way that is unauthorized or illegal.
Examples:
Tamper with evidence. Tamper resistant. It's important not to tamper with the settings on your computer unless you know what you're doing.
Scratch.
To cut or damage the surface of something or the skin with a sharp or pointed object.
Examples:
Scratch off a name. Scratch my signature. Don't scratch your mosquito bites.
Engraving.
A design or picture made by cutting lines into a metal plate or stone, especially for printing.
Examples:
A wood engraving. Engraving tools. The intricate engraving on the silver vase was a work of art.
Rub.
To move one's hand or an object over the surface of something with pressure.
Examples:
Rub shoulders. Rub a glass window. She rubbed the sore spot on her leg to ease the pain.
Centrifuge.
A machine that uses centrifugal force equals a type of inertial force that appears to act on an object moving in a circular path and is directed away from the center to separate substances of different densities, especially to separate liquids from solids.
Examples:
Centrifuge tube. Ultra-high-speed centrifuges. The laboratory technician placed the blood samples in the centrifuge to separate the different components.
Obsess.
To fill the mind of someone continually so that one can't think of anything else.
Examples:
Obsess over her weight. He is obsessed with the fear. He's utterly obsessed with his promotion.
Calculation.
The act or process of using numbers to judge an amount of something.
Examples:
Make a calculation. Calculation of loss and gain. The error in the calculation was attributable to rounding.
Responsible.
Answerable or accountable for something within one's power, control, or management.
Examples:
Responsible action. Responsible for customer service. She's a responsible pet owner who ensures her dog gets enough exercise and a healthy diet.
Guilt.
The fact of having committed something illegal, the negative feelings caused by believing or knowing that you have done something wrong.
Examples:
Criminal guilt. Feeling of guilt. Shame and guilt have significant social influences.
Survivor.
A person who remains alive after an event in which others have died.
Examples:
Ovarian cancer survivor. A single survivor. The shipwreck survivor was rescued after floating in the ocean for 3 days.
Sacrifice.
The act of killing an animal or person or surrendering a possession as an offering to a deity. Verb, to give up something important or valuable to help another person or get or do something that seems more important.
Examples:
small sacrifice for a great cause. Sacrifice anything to get ahead. You cannot accomplish great things without a sacrifice of your time or money.
Obvious.
Easy to see, discover, or understand.
Examples:
obvious reasons. His conclusion was obvious. There are obvious differences between the two wine-producing regions.
Refuse.
To show that one is not willing to do or accept something.
Examples:
refuse a request. Refuse the company. My initial reaction was to refuse.
Deem.
To consider or decide something in a particular way.
Examples:
deem socially responsible. Deem wrong or inappropriate. Regarding earthquakes, some commercial buildings were deemed unsafe.
Unjust.
Not fair or equitable, lacking in justice or impartiality, morally unacceptable or wrong.
Examples:
unjust verdict. Unjust accusation. The ruling was considered unjust by many people in the community.
Emotional.
Relating to people's feelings.
Examples:
emotional health. Emotional distress. Human emotional responses vary widely depending on the society to which they belong.
Involve.
To include or affect someone or something as a necessary part of something else.
Examples:
involve a lot of paperwork. Involve a high degree of risk. The investigation involves several government agencies and is expected to take several months.
Disappear.
To cease to exist or be visible.
Examples:
disappear without a trace. Disappear after a week. They watched the train disappear into the distance.
Stir.
To mix a liquid or substance by using a spoon or something similar. To cause to be agitated, excited, or roused.
Examples:
stir a sauce. Stir up controversy. Topics related to that war may stir up a political hornet's nest.
Abandon.
To leave a place, thing, or person with no intention of returning. Noun, a feeling of extreme emotional intensity.
Examples:
abandon a friend. Abandon the practice. The castle was abandoned several years later.
Orphan.
A child whose parents are dead or have abandoned them.
Examples:
orphan care. Asylum for orphan children. The little girl was a war orphan and lived in a group home.
Concentration.
The ability to focus all your time and energy on one thing without thinking about anything else.
Examples:
concentration of armaments. His research area of concentration. This exam requires excellent concentration to pass.
Immigrate.
To come to live permanently in a foreign country.
Examples:
immigrate to the country. Immigrate through available legal processes. He immigrated to the United States in search of a better life.
Staunch.
Firmly loyal and devoted, unyielding or resolute.
Examples:
staunch conviction. Staunch opponent. She was a staunch supporter of the cause, always willing to speak out for her beliefs.
Colonial.
Of or relating to a colony, equals a territory that is controlled by a more powerful country, to the period of time during which a country or region was a colony.
Examples:
oppressive colonial rule. Colonial style. The city has a rich colonial history, with many historic buildings and landmarks.
Movement.
A group of people working together to achieve a shared goal, especially a political, social, or artistic one, the process of moving or being moved, physically or figuratively.
Examples:
a circular movement. Movement of troops. The movement of the dancers on stage was graceful and elegant.
Circulate.
To move continuously or freely around a place or closed system.
Examples:
circulate a rumor. Circulate an agenda before the meeting. The fan circulates the air in the room quickly.
Independence.
Freedom from another's or others' control or influence.
Examples:
financial independence. Independence ceremony. There is nothing more valuable than independence and freedom.
Guinea.
A former British gold coin worth 21 shillings, or a unit of currency used in some West African countries. Guinea, a republic in Western Africa on the Atlantic.
Examples:
Guinea coins. Guinea pig. The cost of the antique vase is 3 guineas.
Apartheid.
A system of racial segregation and discrimination that was enforced in South Africa from 1948 to 1994. Any similar system of discrimination or segregation based on race, ethnicity, or other factors.
Examples:
apartheid system. Apartheid policies. The South African government enforced apartheid laws that segregated people based on race.
Resist.
To refuse to accept something and attempt to prevent it from happening.
Examples:
Resist temptation. Resist being kissed. I chose to resist cancer by trying every possible treatment.
Dictator.
A political leader who has complete power over a country, especially one who has obtained control by force.
Examples:
Military dictator. A dictator with enormous powers. A popular uprising led to the overthrow of the dictator.
Republic.
A state or country in which the people and their elected representatives hold supreme power and which has an elected or nominated president rather than a monarch.
Examples:
Republic democracy. The Republic of Art. The United States is a federal presidential constitutional republic.
Desert.
Arid land with little or no vegetation, often covered with sand or rocks.
Examples:
Desert basin. Oasis in the desert. This region is predominantly desert.
Spare.
Additional to what is necessary for ordinary use, verb, to give time, money, space, etc., to someone.
Examples:
Spare parts. Spare cost. I made plans to spend my spare time beneficially.
Dissident.
A person who opposes the policies or actions of a government or other authority, often publicly and openly, a rebel or revolutionary.
Examples:
Dissident activities. Outspoken dissident. The government's security forces constantly monitored the dissident politician.
Colonel.
A military rank above a lieutenant colonel and below a general.
Examples:
Colonel rank. Brevet colonel. The army colonel led the troops into battle.
Benevolent.
Well-meaning in kind, serving a charitable or philanthropic purpose.
Examples:
Benevolent gesture. A benevolent individual. The benevolent donor's contribution to the charity greatly impacted the lives of those it served.
Demonstration.
A display or show, often of a particular skill or product, intended to convince or persuade others.
Examples:
Demonstration project. A campus demonstration. Thousands of people attended the protest demonstration against the proposed policy.
Recognize.
To acknowledge or realize something or someone, to identify, remember, or become aware of something that was previously known or encountered.
Examples:
Recognize talent. Recognize achievement. It's important to recognize your strengths and weaknesses.
Relevance.
The state or degree of being closely connected or appropriate to the matter at hand.
Examples:
have no relevance. Relevance category. The relevance of this information to the current situation needs to be investigated.
Opportune.
Suitable or happening at a time that is suitable or convenient for a particular purpose.
Examples:
opportune occasion. An opportune remark. The phone rang at the most opportune time.
Mock.
To make fun of someone, usually by imitating them in a witty but harsh way.
Examples:
mock his accent. Mock at his misfortune. It is impolite to mock fun of a foreign student's English mistakes.
Fairy.
A mythical being of folklore and romance usually depicted as having magic powers.
Examples:
fairy tale. A water fairy. The mischievous fairy flew gracefully through the forest, spreading magic wherever she went.
Tale.
A story made up in someone's imagination, especially one full of action and adventure.
Examples:
a fairy tale. Tale of horror. Ghosts in folk tales are almost always malicious.
Unassuming.
Not arrogant, bold, or forward.
Examples:
unassuming appearance. An unassuming fashion. His unassuming manner concealed his ambition.
Hero.
A person who is admired or idealized for courage, outstanding achievements, or noble qualities, a character in literature or history who is central to the plot and who exhibits heroic qualities.
Examples:
local hero. Unsung hero. The soldier who sacrificed his life for his country is considered a national hero.
Unshakable.
Not able to be shaken or moved, firm, steadfast, and determined, describing a person who is strong, resolute, and unwavering.
Examples:
unshakable determination. Unshakable trust. His unshakable confidence inspired those around him to take bold risks.
Utopia.
An ideal and perfect society in which all social and political problems have been solved, and all members live in harmony and prosperity.
Examples:
perfect utopia. A utopia for an engineer. The concept of utopia is often viewed as an impossible or unrealistic goal, as it goes beyond what is currently possible.
Miracle.
An act or occurrence that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws, and is therefore believed to be caused by God.
Examples:
miracle person. Economic miracle. The doctors said that her recovery was a miracle.
Anyhow.
Anyway, regardless of what has happened or been said.
Examples:
Anyhow possible. Anyhow it turns out. Anyhow, let's change the subject because I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Conviction.
A strong belief or opinion, especially one that is based on principles or evidence, criminal law, a final judgment of guilty in a criminal case, and the punishment that is imposed.
Examples:
Moral conviction. Conviction for murder. She spoke with conviction about the importance of education.
Courage.
The ability to face danger, difficulty, uncertainty, or pain without being overcome by fear or despair. The quality of being brave or courageous.
Examples:
Mental courage. Inspire courage. It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe is right.
Regret.
To feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something you have done or something you have not been able to do.
Examples:
Regret a decision. Regret being so careless. I regret to say that you did not gain admission to the university.
Witness.
A person who sees something happen, especially a crime or an accident.
Examples:
Witness of the car accident. A material witness. The manufacturing industry is witnessing fierce competition.
Submit.
To give or offer a document, proposal, etc. to a decision maker for examination or consideration.
Examples:
Agree to submit the bill. Submit an application. Please submit the assignment to me.
Injustice.
A violation of the rights of others or the laws of a society.
Examples:
Gross injustice. Injustice system. The injustice of the court's decision angered many people and led to protests.
Persuade.
To convince or induce someone to do something by presenting a reason or argument, to sway or influence someone's decision or opinion.
Examples:
Attempt to persuade. Persuade a hijacker to surrender. She tried to persuade her brother to join her on the trip.
Convinced.
Completely certain about something, having a strong belief or conviction in a particular religion.
Examples:
Convinced of the idea. Convinced criminal. The public is convinced that the Prime Minister has committed fraud.